see what that is. It's the USS Salem. And we're gonna go in it. Zoom out a little bit. See how far we've got to walk. It might take us a while to get there. Okay, so I had to cut the audio right there. It just got way too windy and I didn't want to put you through that. But anyways, that right there is the USS Salem. Guys, I've been wanting to check this thing out for a really long time, but it's kind of a ways for me to drive. It's really not that far, honestly. It's just in Quincy, Mass, and that's not a location that I'm just always in. So I hopped in the van and made my way there this weekend just to check it out. Since we've got COVID going on, it's not really a happening spot. As a matter of fact, this is a place that does do paranormal investigations, but they haven't done any for 2020. Actually, they've like locked it down, so people can't be bumping into each other here at night. Um, it's sad because I'd like to investigate it one day. It's super cool. But since I had the chance to actually board it and tour it, I do now know that it makes a lot of crazy noises all on its own. And they don't have to be. I mean, paranormal noises. It's just a big empty vessel. It's sitting at a dock. The wind is knocking it around. So there's a lot of additional noises. Plus, it's something that I've never been on before, so I don't know the boats in and outs. There was also like an intercom speaker that was having some sort of like a electrical malfunction, or at least I think it was. Um, every time I got kind of close to a door and I wanted to like jiggle the handle, the intercom would pop. Like someone was just sitting there, like, you can't do that. But I jiggled the handles anyways on all the doors that were closed just to see, because some of them you could actually open up and go inside, but some of them were definitely locked and you could not go in them. But anyways, this cool boat that I'm touring and you're getting to see some of the video of right here has like I said, has been docked at um, Quincy, Mass for a while now. I believe since the 50s, um, and that's because it was. Involved in an earthquake back in 1953. It's the Ionian earthquake, and this is actually where a lot of the stories of ghosts, apparitions, and spirits come from. Because otherwise, this the USS Salem wasn't involved in any like battles. Really, it was never bombed or anything warlike. It's just that it was actually just involved in this one major earthquake. And what they did was they landed in Greece and they deployed rescue teams to try to rescue any of the people that were there. They put out fires and they would bring the dead back on board and would keep them on the ship for weeks. They would try to hospitalize and revive some of the survivors, and those who didn't make it, well, the vessel also was a like this floating morgue. So some of the spirits that are said to wander around this ship, there's a list, so hang in there with me for a minute, guys. I've got so many to tell you about. First of all, there's one who is the Burning Man. Unfortunately, this one comes with the scent of burning flesh. Uh, there is, he's said to be in the birthing area beneath the third mess hall, and that's where they actually kept the bodies of the earthquake victims. Now, there's also a little girl, she's a little ghost girl who roams the halls. She's a pale spirit, and she only speaks Greek. Which I guess that makes sense because, she would have been, again, one of the victims from that earthquake, and that would have been her native language. Another tragic part of her story is that when she is seen, she's missing part of her face. Poor baby. So next up is the sea captain. He also has a tragic story. This poor guy was a volunteer during the quake and he committed suicide when he came upon his wife's mutilated corpse. So there's three down, and they all have really sad backstories. Let's see. The next one is a cook who is up in the kitchen somewhere, and apparently he just likes to keep everything in order despite being dead for more than 60 years. We made it to the kitchen, and it was an interesting sight nonetheless. Very big kitchen. There's trays. They are like, don't touch the trays, probably because of this guy not wanting you to mess with the stuff. But they also have this room, which I guess was the bakery, and they have all of these muffins and biscuits and things that are in the muffin tins, just sitting back there, just waiting for someone to come and like scoop them up and put them on the tray. It's kind of interesting. Um, I thought that it was real. I'm like, because it's just crumbly, like the bread is crumbly and there's crumbs everywhere, but there's no bugs. So I think they just did a really good job of staging it, just kind of like here in this room with the bottles and everything, this pharmacy setup, little typewriter for typing up the prescriptions or whatever. But yeah, the kitchen was really neat to me. So next on the list here are the hellhounds. I unfortunately did not get to encounter these guys. They're supposed to linger the halls at night, and they are very mean. They growl at you. I just hope that they're not biters. I don't know. I don't have any experience with hellhounds whatsoever, but just from the things that I've heard and read about them, they're not supposed to be good. You don't really want to run into anything like that. I mean, just anything with the name hell as the first part of it probably indicates that it's a bad situation. So then there is a tour, uh, of all things, a ghost tour operator that is said to still be roaming these halls. His name is John, and that's all I know. I don't know if that's just a name that they gave him. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know why they think he was a ghost tour operator. But yeah, so he's around here somewhere. Um, he wasn't giving me a tour that I know of. I got all of my information off of Wikipedia. So it's like, unless Wikipedia's first name is John. And then there is a sentinel apparently here too, and he's an angry one. He's violent. He gets aggressive if you come around and you are nasty, if you do any provoking, and especially if you disrespect the USS Salem. I'm not really sure who would come here and disrespect the this vessel because I thought it was really cool. Look, I just like touching and going through every one of these rooms and just experiencing the vessel all for myself was really unique. So I don't know who would be coming through here and getting aggressive with the boat itself, but don't do that. Why would you? Okay, my list is finally coming to a close here. We've got two more to tell you about. The Living Dog Girls, which are said to be this group of teenagers that beat on the freezer near the pantry. I don't know if that really makes them mischievous. They're probably just hungry. Teenagers, they do that. They get a little hangry. They start acting up. So I don't. This one seems like maybe just maybe bring some cookies or maybe bake some real muffins in the kitchen instead of having that crumbly fake crap laying around, and they might be less mischievous. I don't know. Then there is the scratchers, and I don't mean like what you go to the packy and buy. I mean these are supposed to be creatures that apparently attack and claw the legs of visitors. Um, I don't. I visited the whole ship. I even went down into the darkness, and there wasn't any like creepy crawler. There were no critters. There were no rats. There were no animals aboard the ship, is what I'm trying to tell you. So if these are spirits, what the shit are they? The Scratchers. They are just some type of creature that stays here on the USS Salem. And those are all of the stories that you will find about the paranormal happenings at the USS Salem online. There's a lot more, but I just had to sum it up for you for this short little video. But while I was there, I did have my own strange experience. It wasn't anything that I actually caught on film or recorded, so you'll just have to hear me out. This is a weird thing. I was walking around at the bottom of the vessel where the cots are. It's dark down there. There's no lights on. Um, Even having said that, though, you'll see in the video because I filmed afterwards that there's like nothing on the floor. And as I was beginning my like entry into this area, something all of a sudden just hits my foot. And I'm like, well, that's what the hell? What is that? And I look down and there's a screw now on the floor, a large screw too. It's not like a little one. And I couldn't figure it out. I don't understand where the screw came from. I didn't hear anything fall. I didn't hear anything squeaking loose. And you know, all of a sudden there it was, and it hit my foot. Thank God it didn't hit my head because it's kind of a large screw. So, whoever it was, I think, was being a little playful. Maybe this was one of the mischievous girls. I don't really know. All I can do is speculate. I was shocked to have even walked away from this tour having some sort of a unexplainable experience. So I thought that was neat. And anyways, here is that footage that I was just talking about. This area full of cots, a screw just fell on me. Here, look at the size of the screw. I mean, it didn't like knock me on the head or anything, but it fell on my foot. Like right here. Of course, you can't see anything. There we go. Now you can see. Absolutely nothing that would have fallen. Doesn't look like there's anything missing a screw. There's just like right there. So here I am. I have made it to the top of this boat, USS Salem. It's a really, really cool boat. A lot of neat stuff to see. Plus it's haunted, you know, so there's always that little fun part of it. I saw everything that I was allowed to see here on this boat. They do have some areas that are blocked off, but for the most part, everything was pretty much open. So that's it. That's all that I got. I went to the USS Salem today and finally got to see it. I highly recommend. Ooh, I hope not. Crazy. Bye, awesome haunted ship.